This entrepreneur is amazing. Imagine a teenager who spends most of his days just looking for failed military equipment and buying them in auction as low as $90. He lives in a garage. He drinks coffee all day, energy drinks to provide money for his obsession. He fixes iPhones for people. Fast forward a few years, and this guy accidentally starts a whole new industry all by himself. This is an industry where people like Google, Sony had all given up on. He raises a few $1 million on crowdfunding platforms, and then a few years later sells his company for $2 billion. Cha-ching! He got fired from Meta after working there, some say for his political views. His Hawaiian shirts got louder, and he became the real-life Tony Stark. But today, he's laughing all the way to the bank with his company valued at over $30 billion. Do you know who I'm talking about yet? If you don't, you should. And he's got the best name ever, and that's the best thing about him. You know what his name is? Drum roll, please. Palmer Luckey. My name is Kamal, and this is the Honest Entrepreneur series where I talk about all things entrepreneurial. This week, I want to talk about Palmer Luckey because this guy is just inspirational. I really, really mean it. He's a story for all of us to listen to. So let's get straight into it, shall we? In 2012, virtual reality was a joke of a subject. All the companies had given up on it. It was a 90s gimmick that most companies just, were vomiting over. We don't want to have anything to do with that. But not Palmer Luckey. He had an obsession with HMDs, head-mounted displays. He kept buying old relics from the army that they were just throwing away at like $90, kept tweaking them, kept, seeing if they could work, putting them together with duct tape. He posted one of these prototypes onto a forum for VR headsets, and it just took up from there. That's the first lesson that you have to learn from Luckey Palmer. He didn't find an industry that he wanted to do. He had an obsession and he made an industry out of it, which is the most amazing thing an entrepreneur could do. When his Kickstarter blew up and he raised $5 million, most 21-year-olds would have blown it on, just NFTs at the time and whatnot, on crypto, but not Palmer. He was so obsessed with these VR headsets that he just kept building it, tinkering with it, and making it nicer and nicer and nicer. And then he did the most honest thing that any entrepreneur could do. He wasn't the kind of person that could lead a company. He was an engineer, he was a tinkerer. So what he did, he fired himself and he got what he likes to call an adult to be a CEO of the company. And they continued to build the company. And in 2021, the big boys in the room, Mr. Mark Zuckerberg from Meta, came in and paid $2 billion for Oculus. All of you know what Oculus is now. Everyone knows the story of Oculus. So Mark bought Oculus from Palmer, put him to work as the head of the virtual reality division at Meta. However, with wide and loud Hawaiian shirts, coffee drinking, energy drinking, Palmer didn't last long at Facebook, got thrown out of Facebook, got cancelled by Silicon Valley. Now, most people would have taken the money definitely at that point and gone and disappeared into the sun, drinking pina coladas, listening to Bob Marley, but not Palmer. For Palmer, it was a vengeance pivot, if you've ever heard of one of those. He looked at what was around him and he thought, right, what can I do that's going to take what I did before and get even higher? And you know what he did? He looked at the defense industry. It was run by 4,000-year-old dinosaurs. They didn't run the startup way where it was, move quickly and build things. It was an old industry that hadn't been changed in history, in ever. So he looked at that and thought, right, I'm going to go after that. And so what he did, he founded a company called Anduril. And his motto was, I'm just going to build cool military stuff, cool defensive stuff. And that's what he did. In 2026, Anduril is one of the coolest startups around, building defense projects, and has some of the coolest equipment. If you go on YouTube and you put in Anduril and you see their AI autonomous fighter jet, it's the most wonderful looking thing that you've ever seen. And you know what? You know how much the company is worth only after 3 years? Take a guess. Remember, he sold it for $2 billion, the VR. His new company is worth north of $30 billion. Amazing. He's hit it twice in his lifetime. So to close in the short time that we have, Palmer, so many lessons on there, but it's the fact that you don't have to be likable to win at everything. You have to be obsessed, or one of those traits is you have to be obsessed with the product you have or the company that you have, because that's one thing that can propel you into circles that you just would have never thought of if you're just doing things for, I guess, money. And the other thing is, right, very well that what he did, when he got fired, he didn't just disappear. He thought, you know what, I'm going to pivot. I'm going to, what was it called? A vengeance pivot. And I'm going to get stronger, and I'm going to get bigger, and I'm going to just do things that no one thought was possible. This guy, this Luckey Palmer. And guys, you know what? If you go onto one of Joe Rogan's podcasts, I think it was October or September of 2025, you'll see 3 hours with Luckey Palmer. I really advise you to go and watch it, because he's amazing. And he's just so out there and so different. This is Kamal. This has been The Honest Entrepreneur. Really appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, share, do all the things that you want. If you want me to talk about anything, please let me know, or anyone. I'll do my research. I will try to do it for you guys. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. Let's get going. Bye-bye.